Margaret Kuhlman of Soul Astrology. Aquarius is a strange sign in that it's difficult to pin down. I've noticed people who have Sun or Mercury in Aquarius are very loath to be described. There is a sense that any description or definition is going to be a trap or a limit to one's actual expression. And with this new moon at 4 degrees Aquarius, squaring Uranus in Taurus, I would think that there could be a sense of confusion, of feeling that stable things are slipping away and not knowing quite where to put one's feet, as it were, that any kind of definitive answer is going to be limiting in terms of possibilities and other solutions. Perhaps particularly because there is the sextile from the new moon to Chiron in Aries, so that sense of being personally limited or not understood could be part of what it is that we're wanting to break free from. Aquarius is a lovely sign. It leads us towards that position where we can be spirit, having an earthly experience, but not identified with the earthly experience, so that we can stand back and see what's going on. It's a beautiful step from the Capricorn, which is very involved with the practicalities, moving towards Pisces, which has somehow slipped beyond all the definitions, all the limitations. Aquarius is that place where we feel that ought to be possible, and we start claiming our freedom. And there's Mercury also in Aquarius, with the sextile to Mars in Sagittarius. Actually quite a lot to say, and enjoying the dialogue. The other beautiful conjunction here is Venus approaching Neptune in Pisces. This is really drawing us towards a sense of spiritual love, as opposed to the personal, possessive faces that we put on love. And Jupiter sextiling it from Capricorn supports the expression of that loving through generosity. And these two patterns, the Mercury-Mars and the Venus-Jupiter, are at odds with each other, the squares. When planets are at right angles to each other, the difficulty they have is not understanding what the other one is about. When understanding can be brought forward, they can work together in wonderful ways. So what could go wrong between this Venus square Mars could be partly the flow of the loving, boundless, flowing into places of need, undirected on the outside, more an inner empathy drawing us towards where love is needed, being possibly opposed by the energy that says, oh, well, that's not going to work, and why are you doing that, and oh, that's ridiculous, which Mars in Sagittarius can get into. And on the other hand, when the Mars in Sagittarius wants to go away and try something, experiment with an idea, the Venus is likely to be saying, oh no, that's going to be hurtful, you mustn't damage anyone, you mustn't offend people, we need to love everyone. And the way to bring them together is perhaps to move forward to experiment in sensitive, empathic ways. Do the empathy first. At its worst, it's likely to feel like treading on eggshells round people's feelings, the sensitivities. At its best, it's a warm and friendly, open dialogue and conversation. But that conversation is not going to happen well unless there is love present. Love in the face of not understanding. Love is far more important than understanding. Our understanding changes as we go along, part of the waves on the surface of the ocean, temporary places the mind can set itself. Empathy is a deeper understanding, and under all of it there is love. So with love, understanding can follow. Without love, our attempts to understand can separate us. The full moon chart shows a beautiful shift towards this empathic understanding, with Mercury trining the North Node from Pisces. Jupiter is still involved in sextiling the Neptune. Our sensitive generosity is still in flow. Venus has arrived in Aries with the Chiron, still with those recollections of disagreement with the Mars. There could be a bit of getting on the high horse about one's offendedness. The whole scene can continue to be confusing until Mars reaches Capricorn on the 16th of February. And I think there could be a relief in getting into action, actually doing the things that we've been thinking about. And through the following month and a half, Mars will go right through Capricorn, touching the South Node, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn, empowering them with its energy. We will feel we can tackle things. My feeling about the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which we have just made our way through, is that we're likely to have let go of some very fundamental and assumed parts of life, whether that be people or ideas or a job or just a way of looking at one's space. And out of that, things that have been around in our space but not touching our awareness can now be seen. I'm noticing lots of people finding something that they hadn't actually done before, or that they have done a long time ago and left on the back burner for a long time. And these things coming forward as really inspiring ideas as to what one will do next. And with Jupiter moving through Capricorn for the rest of the year, to and fro over the Pluto, I feel that any effort we put in with what we choose to focus on is going to be well rewarded. So from the 16th of February to the end of March, with Mars going through Capricorn, feels like an extremely good time to get the foundations of that project in good shape. Before then, as I've said in my new moon letter on the website, we need to remain sensitive to the circumstances within which we will be working this project, so that rather than fantasizing about how amazing it might be, or how we better not start it because we always fail, those habitual modes of thinking, whichever they are for you, rather than doing that, one needs to be in the present, sensing how things are, and discussing possibilities with other people. Once we know how to begin, the energy is with us. So by the next new moon, we should be well underway. Take care of yourselves. Thank you. Confusion is a petri dish for creation. Spirit works behind a smoke screen. It is your very identity in the dish, not so easy to let go. But how else is spirit to work? If you would assist in your own process, let go of all you have ever known. Let go your grip on life and fall into the ever-loving arms of your real, true self, and be all that you are.